Welcome to another episode of Inspired Voices. My name is Oliver Riera, and this is Aileen Rossouw.
Hi, I'm Aileen Rossouw from United Muay Thai boxing gym in Durham, and I'm a Muay Thai fighter.
Nice. There we go. Why don't we start off with what's the highlight? What's your resume look like?
Oh, my highlight reel.
Yeah, your highlight reel.
So currently, I'm the Warriors Cup champion.
You said Warriors Cup?
Warriors Cup champion. So they're a promotion out in New York. And then I'm also on the WBC USA team. So I've competed in Mexico. I won first place with the Pan American Games. And then I just recently competed with them at the WBC Worlds and won gold for them there.
Very cool.
Then I have England coming up with the WKA USA team.
Okay.
So that's coming up.
Is that all Muay Thai?
Yes, all Muay Thai.
Nice. That's very cool. Well, obviously you're a hell of an athlete. Has it always been like that? Like growing up and stuff?
So I've always been part of athletics. So I grew up, I actually started in track way back in South Africa.
Oh, you're from South Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So my dad's actually a high jumper. So he was a high jumper growing up. So I obviously went the track route. And then when I moved to Canada, started with basketball. And I love basketball. Nice. So I went to college and played basketball.
Gotcha.
And then
okay, wait, hold on. Let's track it back, because that's a lot of info right there. So you're from South Africa, and your dad was an athlete as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be like, well, you're already in the game. It's what you know, right?
Yeah.
So it's normal to
it's
you.
a lifestyle.
Yeah. So like, have you picked up anything from your dad?
Yeah, he's one of the most focused and dedicated people I've ever met in my life. So even though he's not, so he got injured when he was an athlete, and his transition out of athletics into his career now. Yeah, it's amazing to see that he's transitioned those same life skills into his work as well. So learned a lot from him. Yeah, learn from him daily.
So because you were in track, did he like coach you or anything like that?
No.
No?
My parents are actually the most supportive individuals I've ever met. They're very much like, this is your thing. So whatever I was doing, whether it was track, basketball, Muay Thai fighting, it's always been, this is your thing. Huh. We're here to be supportive, and you do you.
That's a good parent right there.
Yeah, I loved it.
A lot of parents want to like coach the kid and stuff like that, but it's a really good parent with them like guiding you what you want to do. That's awesome. So were you so you grew up on the track pretty much because your dad was on the track?
Kind of. So in South Africa, you kind of, I don't know, it's more relaxed. You kind of grow up doing everything: track, rugby, cricket, all those things. So I kind of grew up around it all. Gotcha. So my dad was kind of past the track stage when I obviously was a kid.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, he always loved it. He loved the track. Yeah.
That's cool. And then what brought you to Canada?
So my dad's job, and I kind of obviously followed with him, and it honestly.
How old were you when you?
7.
7. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so basketball kind of started as a way of just to get to know people, because we were new to the area. So my mom's like, okay, go play basketball. And then, I don't know, my brothers were really good at it, and I tagged along, and it was kind of a whole family passion. Oh, yeah? My parents knew nothing about it, and then my brothers and we would just like go everywhere and play basketball.
Oh, that's funny. So was that, I feel like sports come kind of easy to you? Am I getting that right?
I would say it's more so like, I just love the lifestyle. Yeah. I think what's so great about sports for me is like, I've actually been really bad at all the sports that I played. So like when I started basketball, I was horrible. Yeah. And I think the whole growth mindset, learning new things, I think that's what's kind of driven me through everything. So when I started Muay Thai, it kind of reminded me of that. It kind of brought back that passion of like starting something new from scratch. Yeah. Being awkward and not knowing what I'm doing. If anybody's done Muay Thai, it's whenever you come into the gym, it's the most awkward feeling ever.
It can be, for sure, especially if you've never done martial arts before. Yeah. But I feel like because you come from an athletic background, you have a good sense of your mind connecting with the body kind of thing. Have you always been aware of that, or is that something that came later on?
I think it came later on. I've always been fascinated with, I guess, the biomechanics of like how the body moves, and I think that's
Mm.
also how I learn. Is I need to understand kind of the why behind the movement.
Oh, interesting.
So my coaches sometimes get annoyed with me, but I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So especially in fighting, I'm like, okay, well, why am I moving my body like this? What am I looking for?
Yeah.
Like, what is the movement that is triggering this movement? So
Mm.
I've always been interested in just like how my body's supposed to be positioned. And
Mhm.
even in basketball, like I love the fundamentals of understanding, okay, how do I, fake this way and then go that way or
Mhm.
cross over? Or, I don't know. It's just always
Yeah.
interested in me.
Yeah, I was like kind of the same way because when I did MMA, I ended up teaching it as well. And what I loved about it is fixing people's forms.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah. And like I would just go around the room and like every little detail I would like say and stuff like that. And I think that's where the
It's
same kind of for you.
it's
Yeah.
all in the details.
It
Even like
is.
in every sport, it's all in the details. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of people, especially in fighting, I think people go for the highlight reel, right? Oh, how do I do this spinning kick or spinning back fist? And honestly, it's really all about the basics. The
Yeah.
foundation of, where are your feet? Where is your weight position? Honestly, I've seen amazing fighters just win fights on a good jab, round kick, or
Yeah.
jab cross. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you don't need the fancy stuff.
No, you don't. You don't, especially if like the goal is to win, I
hmm
guess you say. But yeah, I think people underestimate that jab still, even though like you hear people say that, but it's still a thing.
Best punch out there.
um, that's cool though. And then, so as far you went from basketball, you were still in high school, right?
Yep. So I was in high school, and then I went down to Texas and finished out my high school career there, and that was,
Job move.
yeah, job
Gotcha.
move, and that was a change.
Yeah, that's a culture shock right there.
Yeah, my my school in Canada. So at that time, there was still a grade 13.
Hmm.
So it was 5 grades in one school,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think the total number of students in that whole school was 800. And then I went to a 5A school in Texas
Mm.
where the graduating class was over 1,000.
Oh.
And so I was like, "Oh my gosh." When I went into the gym for the first game and the stands were packed, I was like, "This is not what I'm used to."
Right. Yeah, yeah.
So that was definitely a
Yeah.
difference.
My high school was, I think it was close to 3,000 people,
Oh my god.
and it was like down the street or something like that.
Woo!
But yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you take that move? Like, is that when you became like very introverted or
Oh,
something?
yeah, I would say I shelled up a lot.
Mm,
I definitely, it was not a great transition,
hmm.
but I was so happy, like, basketball kinda saw me through that. I met some great people through basketball there. I had some great people that were super supportive. But me personally in my journey, yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, I would go hide in the library at lunchtime, like,
Yeah.
go to like, "Oh, yeah, I need to work on schoolwork." It was just a lot to take
Gotcha.
in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was it like that throughout the rest of your high school career?
Yeah, I'm basically I mean, my senior year, I think I kinda started to come out of my shell a little bit
Yeah.
more, but it's tough, especially when you're trying to get recruited and stuff, like,
Hmm.
and everybody's trying to get recruited, so everybody wants that chance to kinda to shine, and,
Yeah.
um, it was tough. It was
That,
a tough transition.
right. That's interesting that you were shelled like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, I feel like going into athletic sports, especially in high school and stuff like
Mm.
that, is a good way to like meet people. Da, da,
Yeah.
da. So you always see those athletes that are always like more confident than everybody else.
I definitely was not. I went through a super awkward phase too. I had, like, super bad acne in high school,
uh,
and so I was just really and then I was naturally introverted, but then it was just so overwhelming with
mm,
so many people, and then basketball, like, there was the stress of, "Okay, I would like to get recruited,"
yeah,
and,
yeah,
so putting in the work for that, and I just yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it was just a scary time.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, that's true. So okay, recruited for basketball. Like,
Mhm.
how'd that go? Like,
So that was a pretty cool experience.
yeah.
Coming down from Canada and then having recruiters coming and actually watching your games and
Mhm.
being interested.
Were you like extra nervous when you were playing and they
Uh,
were in the stands?
Oh yeah. I think my first my the one time I knew the coach was coming, I think I forgot like all the things that you needed for the game. Like I forgot everything. I was calling my mom, "Hey, I forgot my mouth guard. Hey, I forgot
Mm,
this. Can you bring this?"
that's funny.
Um, and I actually had a horrible game. I think I fouled out.
Damn.
Yeah, I did not handle that the greatest,
Right.
but they still recruited me. They saw some potential, which I'm always like just been so grateful for that they saw the potential and kind of overlooked the nerves.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. I feel like how do you take the nerves? Do you because like people would be like, ah, use the nerves to your advantage, right?
Hmm.
But
Easier said than
sometimes
done.
it's like a double-edged sword almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. And especially, I'm amazed at the younger generation coming up
Mm,
because they have like nerves of steel. I
mm,
mean, handling pressure is very different, I think, now than it was then. I
yeah.
think that,
Yeah.
especially now with social media, people are so used to being on camera or
Mm,
in the spotlight. Whereas when I was coming up, like Facebook wasn't even around in high
right.
school. So, I mean, you weren't used to being out there in the center spotlight.
Yeah.
Um, I think I handled it pretty well. Like I got excited about games. Like I actually like really loved. I loved performing. Like
Mm,
I loved the sport because I'd put so much work into it. So it
yeah.
was kind of like that chance to do it. But I think it's very different now versus then.
Yeah.
I think with and also versus like team sport versus
All right.
individual sport. So team sport, you have not only your nerves, but you have the whole team's nerves
Mm-hmm.
too. And then,
At the same time, that could make it a little easier though,
yeah,
right?
true,
Yeah.
true. Because you have your teammates with you, so like if something goes wrong, they have your back.
Right.
Or if you miss a shot, okay, my teammates got that rebound. So
Mm,
there is that ease of nerves.
yep.
So I think my senior year, I handled it a lot better than my junior year. My junior year was a little like, what is going on? But senior year definitely.
Gotcha. And then so you got recruited.
Hmm.
So what was the next step in your life?
So I went to Auburn University in Alabama,
Okay.
and that was
Oh,
also another.
Alabama.
I know that was another culture shock. I loved it there though. I mean, when people were so nice.
Oh, that's good.
Honestly, like even the team was really great. I had some really supportive teammates.
Mm. Hold on. Before you went to Alabama, like you had different recruits and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Was there any kind other recruit that like wanted you, or was that the only one?
So that was like the big one.
Okay.
I went to a couple other schools in the area, all in the South.
Gotcha.
And then I think also because I had a lot of letters and a lot of people wanting to recruit me after the fact. And I think because I was younger for my age group, I think they thought I was younger.
Oh,
So for
okay.
some tournaments, I think they thought I was younger than it was.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Okay, all right. I was just curious because like, was Alabama like your first pick, or
so
that kind of
it was
thing?
actually really cool. So my middle school teacher, the one that actually got me into basketball,
Uh-huh.
the first day I walked into his class, he looked at me, he's like, "You're gonna play in the SEC. You're gonna be a bulldog, right?" And so I'm like, okay. And so like he got me into basketball, um,
Interesting.
playing everything. So when I got into Auburn is the Tigers, I
Hmm.
know, but I called him, I said, so I'm not a bulldog, but I'm a tiger and I'm in the SEC. So that
Nice.
was like pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, so it was the SEC was big.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder what he saw in you. Did you ever ask him like
I
what
never
he?
got a chance
Yeah.
to. He definitely had a huge impact on me. He was like I guess, so he was in Canada. He was like my middle school teacher, so probably like eighth grade
Hmm.
year.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or no, sorry, he met me sixth grade year, but he was my eighth grade teacher
Yeah.
moving up. But
It
yeah.
seemed like that had a big impact on you
Oh yeah,
because
for
like
sure.
it's like correct me if I'm wrong. It might be the first time that you kind of saw the future in a way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he would pull me in at like lunchtime and have me come play with some of the boys
Yeah.
team and stuff. And so he just was very supportive of the journey. Like, come
Nice.
on, you're gonna come play with the guys. Like, let's go.
Right. Right.
And
That's cool.
if I tried to slack, he'd be like, no, you go over to
Yeah.
the competitive side. Go to the competitive side. I'm like,
That's funny.
okay.
Um, Well, basketball, college, SEC, SEC, SEC,
SEC.
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 Um, how was that for you?
That was another big,
Yeah, that's a
huge.
achievement right there.
Yeah. It was great. I just
So talk to me about the nerves part again,
okay.
because like compared to high school and college,
Mhm.
maybe that first game in college, how was that one? That was
Oh,
that the roughest one
it was, you know what?
as far as nerves go?
When I got, yeah, it's like, your body kind of like you feel the nerves in your body and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, don't like body just work for me. It
Yeah.
was like numb. But I was just so excited to get in there. And I would say like like my basketball style was like I was just like a workhorse. So like
Okay.
I would just like I would hustle, I would
Mm.
play defense, I would rebound. So like I kind of just focused on that like that I have a grinding mentality, I guess. So I'm like, okay, like just go, get the ball, get the ball.
Yeah.
So that kind of got me through it. And then I don't know, it was just exciting at that point. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm in the SEC right now. This is so cool.
Was that always a goal for you?
um Yeah, no, so, like sorry, what?
Was it a goal to be in the SEC?
It was a goal to play Division 1 basketball. I wanted to play pro. So, like, at that point,
Okay.
I was really this is where, like, the maturity part comes in.
Yeah.
I think that I didn't have the balance that I have now. I think that I was so hyper focused on basketball that it was
Mm.
ball was life, as
Mhm,
I
mhm.
say. But basketball was everything to me. So, I just it was just tunnel vision, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I get that a lot. It's yeah, I think it's easier to get tunnel vision when it's an active sport
Mhm.
and stuff like that, because that's all you have to concentrate on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like I don't know, I didn't have the balance, I guess, the life balance, I guess.
Yeah. Like you
Um,
didn't go out and party and stuff like that.
I mean, I did. But I think it was hard. I don't know, because I would say like my in high school, like I was kind of protected. You're with your family and everything.
Yeah.
You have your, I guess, it's very easy to be centered,
Mm.
if that makes sense, like or
Mhm.
anchored. And moving away and like I moved far away. Like my parents were in Texas. I think my brother was still in Canada. So like it was being far away from home, not having that family support. It was hard to get like lost
Yeah.
in everything.
Yeah. For the first time in your life too, right?
Yeah,
Being
first
away.
time and kind of having to figure out, just even like social dynamics. Like I was young for my grade. So just
Mm.
figuring out, okay, who am I? Where do I fit in? I wanted to fit in because okay, the team mentality, I want to fit in with my teammates. I want to do this.
Mhm.
What is an athlete,
That's interesting. I wish people would teach that a little more about like finding yourself in high school,
yeah.
because like that's like the most important age group right
Yeah.
there. Um, and I feel like the more you know yourself, the more you're able to make those decisions in life and stuff like that. Like I when I took 2 years off of after I graduated high school, and so but when I went to college, I went to college in Florida
hmm
from here, and that was the first time away, like no support
Yeah.
at all, and so like I ended up like homeless
Oh,
and
geez.
then living on the streets for a little bit. Luckily, my school was open 24/7,
Yeah.
so I was able to just like kind of stay there. But that was a huge life lesson for me and stuff like that. So yeah, you had to grow up fast, and sometimes you got to when you're away from home.
Yeah.
So
You
you
get exposed to a lot more.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you aren't used to navigating it. It's kind of, well, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, for sure. So then, yeah, yeah, you kind of just rode the wave, right? Is
yeah.
that
So
what happened?
I ended up going through some things. I think, like I said, like I got tunnel visioned, and so I was so focused on basketball that like if basketball wasn't going well, my whole life was like
Mm,
crumbling.
yeah.
And so I just wasn't mature enough to handle. I could handle, like, the playing part, I could handle the workouts, I could handle, the discipline of getting up and being competitive and, doing all that,
Yeah.
but I don't think I was able to navigate just life in
Mm,
general, and so I just didn't have that maturity there, and so I ended up actually transferring after my 2nd year. My So the coach that recruited me actually left my freshman year.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I'm gonna give this program a chance and
Mm.
everything. And
Were you like depressed a lot? Is that what's going on?
yeah, so I was pretty depressed. I
Mm-hmm.
was pretty depressed during that time. But I think it was just a not understanding myself and not
Mm-hmm.
understanding, like not knowing myself, not understand, like trying to figure out who I am, like how do I what do I want my life to be, I guess.
Oh.
And so
Were you asking yourself that because you wanted a life outside of basketball?
I think I did, but at that time, like I didn't, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Like I
Yeah, I get
think
that. Yeah.
I wanted that, but at that time I was just so focused on basketball, and I was like, okay, my whole life goal is like I want to go pro. I want to go pro.
Sure.
I want to do this, and I just kind of just forgot about everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Mm-hmm.
I had great. Don't get me wrong, I had great friendships during that time, but I think on my side, I don't think I understood even like friendships to that extent.
Mm.
Um, so the people I had in my life then were great people, and so
Yeah.
I don't want this to come across as like I'm
Sure.
bashing the people in my life at that time.
Yeah.
But I feel like now because I'm more aware of myself and aware of what like I need, I'm able to make better friendships, if that makes sense, or
Yeah.
more like deeper friendships.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
that deep connection and all
hmm
that stuff. Gotcha. That makes sense. So as far as, riding the wave and stuff like that, what were you going to college for?
So I went. So initially, this is gonna sound really bad, but I don't know if you want to put this in there. But so the main focus was basketball. So they
Yeah.
had me in general studies.
Okay.
So it was like a general degree that I just, did, certain things. And I got my degree. I graduated on time. I was eligible, but I had redshirted a year because I transferred from Auburn to Northern Illinois in Chicago.
Mm.
So I had an extra year of
Gotcha.
eligibility. And so I actually ended up doing my master's in sport and exercise psychology.
Okay.
And I think that's when I started to really dive into that mental side of the sport,
Mm.
because that had always been, I guess, not a struggle for me because I dealt with it and I handled it, but it had always been an interest to me was the mental side of the sport.
Yeah.
Because the physical side, I loved that part. That was
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
The mental side was a little harder to navigate because it's not like you go to practice and like, okay, we're going to sit and visualize this, or we're going to talk about how we handle this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, work harder, faster, like just keep pushing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I started to dive into that, that kind of became a little bit more my passion.
Mm.
And so I did my master's. I finished out my master's there in
Yeah.
Northern Illinois.
Did studying that make
hmm
you a better athlete?
Um, Initially, um, I think I didn't fully understand how to implement it yet.
Okay.
So I think the premise of it, it all made sense. And I was like, yes, I want to, implement this.
Yeah.
But I didn't really fully commit to it, I guess, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Gotcha.
My last year, little bits and pieces started to fall together, but
Mm.
I don't think I really understood what was being taught until kind of my second chance or second opportunity at being an athlete. So
Gotcha.
got to implement all the things.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. And at this point, were you still playing basketball?
um, like when I started fighting, or
No,
when.
when you went to get your master's.
So I was for the first year, yes. The second year, I was doing. I was like still being a practice player,
Okay.
and being a practice player was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to realize, like, man, along the way, I'd kind of lost my joy with it. I know that's
Mm.
sad to say because like
Mm.
I loved basketball, like it was my life.
Right.
But I think when I was a practice player and like there was no like
Pressure.
pressure.
Yeah.
And it was just like you went to practice and they're like, all right, whenever you get the ball, just shoot it. Like,
Mm.
okay, I can do that. And it was so much fun. Like, and I think I'd lost that along the way and I hadn't realized it.
Gotcha. Were you still trying to go pro at that time?
Um, no. So there was some talk my last year going pro, and I actually ended up saying no. I was like, I'm done with
Really?
basketball.
That was
Yeah.
your decision.
hmm I
Interesting.
was. It was taking a while for the contract to go. Like they were trying to work on it. It was taking a while, and
Mm.
it was if I had gone, I wouldn't have been able to finish my second year, like my master's.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I just want to finish my master's. Um, yeah,
Interesting.
done.
How was that mentally?
It was tough.
That's got to be a fork in the road, man.
Yeah.
Like,
um, I would say a year or two, the years after playing basketball, and I think I would say a lot of athletes struggle with this part,
yeah.
and like the identity,
Mm.
because you've been an athlete all your life, and all of a sudden you're not.
Yeah.
Like now what am I?
Now I really got to figure out myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I think a lot of athletes get stuck in that there's so much they are so much more. There's so much more to a person than just the sport that we play. And I try to tell people that all the time. Like even like the younger generation of fighters that come in, they're like, I want to be a fighter. I'm like, okay, yeah, but what do you do for fun? Like what do you do outside of fighting? If this is not if this was not in your life, what would you be doing?
Why is that important though?
I think you need balance. I think
Right.
I think you need to be multidimensional.
Mm.
I think if you're just your sport, that's so one-dimensional.
Mm.
Like,
Do
there's
you
so
think
many.
you think you could be like a good fighter if you're just focusing on fighting and nothing else?
No, because I think you lose that. I think you lose the balance.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it does remind me of my acting career. I was a professional actor and stuff like that, and you know, all these casting directors and stuff like that. Everybody would say, even my agent would say, they don't look for actors that just want to act and that's all they
mhm.
have to them. They want people who are layered and do
Yeah.
different things and stuff like that.
There's so much joy to life. I think that's also what I lost in basketball because I was so driven. I'm like, I've got to train here. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And it's like there's so much joy to life that I think people miss out on.
Mm.
There's so many opportunities to learn new things. There's so many opportunities to like try new things. I mean,
Yeah.
um, that's how I started with fighting. I mean,
Right.
I went to a gym and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this fitness kickboxing class, and absolutely horrible.
Right. Right. Right.
But I'm like, why not? And I think so many people are held back by that fear of like, I'm gonna look stupid doing this. I'm gonna fail. Or like they don't have fun in that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much fun, and I started salsa dancing. I'm really bad,
Oh.
but it's so much fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm horrible at it, and I feel so bad for my partners. But it's so much fun to learn new things, and that
Mm.
helps. That helps with fighting. There's footwork to it. You
Yeah.
learn new ways to move your body.
I mean, fighting is dancing.
Yeah, I mean, basically. And then like, there's other things. I do photography. Like there's so much fun out there to be had.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be great at everything.
Right. Yeah. I feel like the more you're open to that part of your life, the more you're able to deal with the pressures in the sport as
Hmm.
well, maybe.
For sure.
Mm.
Because you're not defined any longer by your record, or you're not
Right.
defined by, oh, I won this game or I lost this game, or um, it's just the
Yeah.
journey, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's cool about martial arts is, it's not, yes, the record, obviously you want a good record. You don't want
Mm.
to lose. And no
Right.
one wants to lose. But fighting is such a vulnerable, you're putting yourself in such a vulnerable position, to be viewed by your teammates, to be viewed by, everybody around you.
Mm.
It's a very um, vulnerable sport.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it's like the lights are on you. It's just you and one other person in there.
Right.
I mean,
Everybody's watching you.
yeah. And it could, I mean, 50-50, right? It could go
Yeah.
either way. I
Right.
mean, you could have the best night of your career, or you could have the worst night of your career.
Mm. Mm.
You have to be kind of prepared for both. And I think walking in there, especially, I've never experienced a team the way that I have in martial arts. And I think it's so weird because it's an individual sport,
Mm.
but your teammates have worked with you along the way, and they really celebrate your successes. And I think that's the difference, that I've found now, even with friendships. Like, I have friends that really celebrate like my successes.
Yeah.
I have a team that really celebrates. It's our win. It's not just my win or their win. It's our win because we've put in the time together. We've worked on everything, and I think that's what's so like cool about it.
It is, yeah. It's very cool. It's an intimate thing. You know, when you're fighting, you're like you said, vulnerable, right? But you're exposing yourself fully in a way where it can be very embarrassing. It could make you go down in life, or you could take it as a positive and go up, stuff like that. You know.
Like even when you fight, like you look at it and you've trained so hard for this one fight, and then you look at it and you're like, why am I doing that? Why am I like, I look so awkward.
Oh, right.
Like, I didn't mean to do that, coach. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I know we didn't train that. But
that's funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely it's a cool moment. I think that's also even the losses. Like I thought my first loss with my team now, I was so nervous that when I would go back, I'd be treated differently.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, like that was an experience. You leveled up. You did certain things. Okay, now back to work. We need to improve this. I'm like, all right, awesome. I like this. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, they're not beating you up about it.
No.
So when did you get into martial arts?
So I actually got into it later in life. I was doing so after basketball, I went on like a little fitness journey. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself. I'm just gonna go, do fun classes like Zumba and stuff like that. And there was a martial arts gym that was next door to the gym that I was going to.
Hold on. Was that kind of that time in your life? Was that kind of like the time in your life where you actually experienced different things for the first time?
Yeah, it was kind of like I'm not an athlete anymore.
Yeah.
So I would go to the gym. It was weird because as an athlete, when you go to the gym, like people would know you're an athlete.
Yeah.
And so like I would just go and I'm like, oh, like
I'm just a normal person.
Just normal person. Yeah. Just going to the gym, lifting my weights.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely different. And I'd started at that time. I'd started teaching too, and I was kind of, it was like a new chapter in my life. And I was like, athletics and sports have always been part of my life, so I'm like, I'm going to continue to work out and do stuff. And man, I remember my first call to the gym too. I was like, I've been working out, and I kind of want to try something different, but I'm like, I'm kind of nervous, and I'm like, I know I'm not going to be very good at it, but please don't hurt me.
Right, yeah. That's all I ask. Please.
I always tell, I don't know. I even tell when I the fighters that are coming up that want to fight, I'm like, yeah, when I first did my first contact class, I was so nervous. I think I forgot everything at the gym that day. I forgot my gloves. I forgot my credit card. Really? Yeah. I left there. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that.
That's funny.
But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I had some good people around me that kind of were like, it's okay. Come on.
Right. Yeah, I've never been in a street fight. So like going to the gym, martial arts gym for the first time was like, there's a lot of turtling up and stuff like that. And, so you got to you got to work at it and stuff like that. But yeah, talk to me about how you got into it. Martial arts.
Yeah, so I was lucky. So I was doing the fitness kickboxing classes, and then I was lucky. There was they at this gym they had fitness, and then they had the contact side.
Okay.
And I had some amazing ladies that I was surrounded with that were like, "Come over to the contact side. It'll be okay. We got you." And I was like, "Okay." So I went over, and they had me. They kind of like partnered with me a little bit, and then they kind of put me out on my own. And it happened to be right when the group that was fighting, they were starting a fight camp at the same time that I came over.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, can I just do the workouts with you guys? And like,
just like that?
Yeah. I was like, can I just do the workouts?
There was no like hesitation about it, kind of thing?
The workouts, I'm fine with the workouts part.
Yeah.
Like the actual getting hit part, I wasn't like that. I had to ease into that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up like fighting or wrestling or anything. So that was all new to me. But the workouts, I was like, okay, because they would like run and do, weights and all that. So I'm like, okay. And then they kind of had me, they eased me into sparring. Well, actually, they kind of threw me into sparring. Because they were getting ready. So they had like a spar night, and they're like, okay, you're going to go with this person. I just remember having blood everywhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is what I want to do.
Right.
But I went with them to their tournament, and
That's got to be
then
nerve-wracking too.
I went with them to their tournament to watch. I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if this is something I want to do.
Hmm.
And they had the kids come out first, and the kids are scary. I don't know if you've watched the kids fight,
I
but
have, yeah.
they're like little
Yeah.
gremlins.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was like, I don't want to do this. And then
Was this in Muay Thai?
yeah.
Okay,
So this
gotcha.
was Muay Thai. Yeah. So Muay Thai, and then yeah. So I watched that, and then I saw like the older people go. I was like,
Mm,
okay, this is maybe something I could see myself doing down the line.
yeah. You didn't think about were you comfortable with getting hit and stuff like that?
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, I don't. Anybody that says they like getting hit, I think they're lying. They're lying. Even now, I've been in it forever, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to get hit. Like, no
Yeah.
one wants to get hit.
That's interesting that like, you don't come from a contact
Mhm.
sport, but yet you saw it and were like, yes, let's do it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
Because if you've never gotten hit before, you're like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to get hit.
Yeah. I I don't know. I think there's such a beauty to it, and I think it's so I think if people just watch it, they just see the violence, right?
Mm,
But if you look at what these athletes are doing with their body in terms of like the mechanics of movement, it's a beautiful sport to watch.
yeah.
I mean, just how they move. I think that's what kind of drew me in was these, especially like watching, like the female fighters. It's like there's such a beauty to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um,
I like it a lot. Yeah. There is a beauty to it though. Yeah.
mhm,
I always I don't know, it's like every time I am sparring or martial arts class or even just like fitness, just
mhm.
doing jabs and crosses, I always picture my body as a spring.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's like
So
being
it's like,
wound up,
yeah, yeah.
releasing. Yeah.
Comes from the foot all the way up,
Yeah.
it's just whoosh, whoosh, I think that actually helps me too. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like keep my form perfect, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. So you saw the contact sport, yeah, the competition,
Yeah.
right? You're like, okay, let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah, it took me a little while. I think I didn't compete for like 2 years. So like I trained for 2 years and
Hmm.
then was like, okay, I think I'm good to go.
Yeah. What
And
made you want to compete?
I think I just wanted to test what I've been
Mm,
training. I just wanted to see it against somebody that didn't know what I could do. I
right.
think
Yeah.
when you go against your sparring partners every day, they know your tells, they know how you move.
Hmm.
So you evolve, so that's good. You evolve, like you have to change stuff. But when you get to go against someone that doesn't train with you, you're like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, I can kind of like
Yeah.
let loose a little bit, kind of go. Um,
Surprise.
surprise. um, yeah, so I kind of wanted to just see if I was capable of it.
Interesting.
It was kind of a fear. Honestly, it was a fear. I
Yeah.
had to conquer it. I was scared. I was so scared.
Hmm.
But I think
Well, just pulling the trigger is
yeah,
like a fear in itself.
yeah, it
Of like,
definitely.
okay, I signed up. Oh my
Oh, it's like
god.
yeah, like the butterflies. As soon as like you sign up, it's like, oh, did I do the right thing?
Right.
But I think that's what's so great about it is every time, like I think in the past I used to avoid certain things. Like I used to like if I was scared of something, I'd avoid. Like I'd go hide in the library because I was scared to
Mm-hmm.
socialize or
Mm-hmm.
scared to actually, deal with the emotions that I was feeling. So
Interesting.
I think at that time in my life when I started it, I was like, okay, like just do it. Like you're scared,
Yeah.
but just do it.
Yeah.
Like um
Did it like bring back anything from basketball? Like that competitive kind of.
yeah, I think to an extent, but I think what was different this time around was that it was competitive in that I wanted to do well, but it was solely focused on like my performance, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was really like the personal growth. Okay, so with this fight, I worked on this technique or
Mm-hmm.
how to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, okay, I actually did it in the fight. That was pretty
Mm.
cool.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, my first fight. maybe not so much, but first fight was just I don't know what happened. But
You kind of blacked out a little bit.
a little bit. It was just like,
That's the thing that people don't realize is like non-fighters, I
yeah,
guess, is if you train and you're at a level 10 technique,
yeah.
once you get into an actual fight, it goes down to like a
Oh
6,
yeah.
maybe.
And that's what is so upsetting because you watch UFC fights and people are like, "Oh, I could beat them." They suck. I'm like, "No, no, no, no. There are levels to this. There are
Yeah,
levels."
right.
Um, but yeah, it's frustrating, training all these things and you're like, "Yeah, okay, I got it." And then
Mhm.
you get in the fight and you're like,
I
maybe
don't
not.
got it.
I don't got it, coach. I'm sorry."
And also people are looking at it from like the outside perspective too when they say that type of thing.
Yeah.
But like when you're in front of someone
Oh,
and they're
it's so
throwing jabs and crosses and hooks and all that stuff, it's like it's so different,
what is happening?
Yeah. So you competed, you blacked out. Was it a loss?
Yeah, my first one was a loss.
Yeah, so
And I think, I don't know, I was still, obviously you want to win,
sure.
given, but I was so happy with the fact that I'd done it. I was like,
Hmm.
man, I did that.
And you didn't die.
And I didn't die.
No.
And I was like, it wasn't a horrible performance. Was it a great performance? Was it good?
Mhm.
Probably not, but it wasn't. I was like, okay, I have something to work on now. I have a
Mm,
baseline. I need to keep working. And so I learned a lot from it.
interesting.
And then it kind of fired me up. I'm like, okay, yeah, like let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay. It's almost like you're trying to prove something to yourself.
Yeah, I think I had to prove to myself that I was capable of doing it,
Yeah.
of stepping in there, and conquering a fear,
Mm.
um, and not avoiding it or not running away
Right.
and just do it.
Okay. So like now I feel like you're the type of person that conquers fears and like goes for things.
Mhm.
But it seems like it hasn't always been like that, like growing up and stuff. So because of that first half of your life where you weren't conquering fears, do you use that as like kind of a chip on your shoulder? And be like, no, I'm not gonna go back there,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Um, I think I really took the time to get to know myself. And I know that sounds like really cheesy,
Yeah.
but I'm comfortable with who I am now.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with, what I'm doing. I know what I want.
Hmm.
And I think as a young kid, maybe like I probably didn't appear like I was like insecure or like all that. And don't get me wrong, I'm still like there's still a lot of insecurities and
Sure.
battles that I need to face within myself, but I think it's just the approach is so much different now
Mm,
than it used to be. Um yeah, I don't want to be that person anymore. I mean,
yeah.
you got to keep evolving. If that's what's great about life, right? We keep
Yeah.
changing, we keep evolving, we keep becoming better people.
Hmm.
I think if we were perfect, I don't think life would be fun
That's true.
because we got
That's
to
true.
keep we got to keep
Yeah.
got to keep getting better. Got to keep
Right. Yeah. I
yeah
feel like if life was perfect, we wouldn't try so many things.
yeah.
Right. So yeah, good. Yeah, I like
It'd be
that.
boring. There'd be no good stories.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Especially that. So so yeah, then you just kind of kept competing and stuff like that, right?
So I ended up taking a break.
Okay.
So I took a break with COVID. Well, obviously,
Ah.
COVID was a forced break.
Hmm.
Um, and I think during that time, I think everyone kind of went through their things at that time,
Sure.
and I went through some things,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I had to come face to face with myself, and I think it took me a little bit of time to get in back into competition.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm so thankful that I have the friends that I do because they were kind of like they were being nice about it, but they're like, "Hey, like, do you want to compete again?" And I was like, "Yeah, like maybe one more," because I was still training during that time. I was still training like I was competing,
Oh,
but I
okay.
wasn't actually
Competing.
taking that dive to sign up
Yeah.
or.
Yeah.
conquering that fear, and I was kind of avoiding it a little bit again. And
Do you know what it was?
I think I just was I think I knew I wasn't in the right headspace to
Mm.
fight. Because when you fight, people think, oh, you have to, be angry, or you have to be miserable, or you have to, have this like, I'm going to kill you mentality.
Right.
But I think it's actually the opposite. I think you have to almost be at peace when you fight.
Mm. I like that.
And I wasn't there. I wasn't at peace. So I
Interesting.
had to kind of find my way back, and I found my way back. So that
Yeah.
was exciting. I ended up starting to train at United, and they've been
So you
amazing.
transitioned from one gym to another. Was
hmm
that still in the same area, both of them?
So
Or
United is actually in Durham, and
yeah.
I was training like in Raleigh area
Oh,
around
okay,
there.
gotcha.
So I was just kind of working out more so, kind of
Yeah.
training, taking classes here and there.
So what made you want to go to United?
I had actually sparred there like a while back, getting
Okay.
ready for a fight, and I think you get a feeling with a gym. Um, I've had it at a couple of gyms in the area where I like, oh, okay, like these are good people. Like it
Mm.
feels like home almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I went and trained there, and I was like, okay, well, let's see if this is where I want to be.
Mm.
Um, and the people were great. Um, the owners are amazing.
TK.
Yeah, TK and OP, they're
Yeah.
amazing. They've really like kind of taken me under their wing, and
Mm.
they've they had the belief in me, I guess. Before I believed in myself, they
Yeah.
already like I talk to TK all the time, like, did you think I would be doing this stuff right now? And she's
Mm.
like, yeah. I'm like, really? She's like, I thought it would take a little bit longer. She's like, but yeah. I
Interesting.
was like, so you knew this? She's like, yeah, I had it mapped out for you. I was like, okay.
That's
But
interesting. So, these stools right here are from United.
seriously?
Yeah, yeah. Because I filmed in there,
Uh-huh.
a boxer,
Uh-huh.
and then TK was in there. Anybody want these stools? I was like, I'll take them.
I'll take it.
Just get some seat covers. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great place. Honestly, like every time I followed the social media on United, and
They
there's
support
some
their
great people.
fighters. They
Yeah.
support their fighters, and I think they really do. Like they support their fighters. They want them to get out there and do their
Mm.
thing.
I
Yeah.
feel like there's a balance, right?
Mhm.
With like, how far do you push somebody? Like,
Mhm.
do they even want to compete, or should they compete, or like, what's?
Yeah, it is tough because you don't want to push them too soon.
Uh-huh.
You gotta eat. So like they kind of let me come to them.
Okay.
So they treated me like a feral cat. They let me come to them.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, no. So like I'd been training there, and I knew I wanted to compete, and so I signed up. I called them. I said, "Hey, is it okay if I compete under your gym?" Because I'd been
Mm.
training there, but I hadn't really like asked if I could fight. So I like asked them. I said, "Hey, is it cool if I compete? And like if I put you guys as my gym when I compete?" They're like, "Yeah, of course." Like,
Yeah.
yes, we've been waiting for this moment. um, and for that fight, I actually, what is it? The fight ended up not happening.
Oh.
So then I was like, oh man, okay. So, but then they knew I wanted to compete. So
Mm.
then TK was like, well, do you want to do this? And she started like sliding stuff like, hey, do you want
Mm.
to do this? And I ended up signing up for USA Muay Thai. So that was like my first one back after a while.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah, it's a big tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up
So you were
competing.
like signing with the nurse,
I was like,
maybe?
yeah. And then I signed up at a higher weight class too than I
Oh,
used to compete at.
gotcha.
And so I was like even more nervous. I was like,
What made you
oh,
want to up that?
um, I just didn't want to cut weight.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And your body changes over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fight at this weight.
Mm-hmm.
And see what's out there.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. So how'd you do?
I ended up winning. So
Nice.
that was
Nice.
exciting.
Very cool.
And then that was when I got the call from Warriors Cup.
Ah.
So the Chris Tran from Warriors Cup had seen me fight at USA Muay Thai, and he wanted a rematch for the girl that I fought.
Interesting. Oh,
So
okay.
um, Warriors Cup is one of those promotions. If they call, you do not say no. So when TK told me they'd called, I was like, me? They want for Warriors Cup? Like, okay, like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ooh. And then for that one, I was like, okay, we're gonna fight at my actual fight weight. So we came down for that one. And
Were you
honestly,
still able to fight the same person though?
yeah,
Okay.
so she came down too. So we
Okay,
came
gotcha.
down, both came down.
When you got the news that you were gonna be fighting the same person, obviously, like for me, like I would just be locked in. Like, okay, replaying what
Yeah.
how she was fighting and
hmm
stuff like that. Like, how do you train for that?
Yeah, so I knew, um, I kind of figured that it would be a little bit of a different fight because I was like, okay, well, she didn't really come out like super aggressive. So I was like, okay, this fight she's gonna come out super aggressive probably.
Yeah.
Um, she was a little bit taller than me, so I was like, okay, like understanding length and understanding angles, what was I gonna do? And she moved really well. She was really light on her feet, really good hands. So I knew I kind of had an understanding of how she moves. So I was like, okay, just lock in. This is what we're doing. This is so I was working certain things. And then when the Warriors Cup fight happened, she didn't necessarily come out how I'd expected. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna fight. Okay, let's go.
But you had a team with you, right?
Yeah, I have my team with me.
Yeah, that's got to be tricky because like yeah, you train, you look at her video footage maybe or something like that, but then she does something different and like
Yeah.
oh crap, I didn't train for this. Like
Yeah.
how do you train for the unexpected? You know?
Yeah, you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's in life, in everything. I mean, there's always unexpected turns. There's always going to be things that happen that you didn't plan for, and you kind of just gotta navigate it. Because I've been finding you kind of gotta navigate it at warp speed, but
Right. Yeah, that's true.
um,
I think that's the beauty of fighting is that it really shows you how you're gonna react naturally.
yeah, because you can't think during a fight. I mean, you somewhat think. Like obviously in my head, I'm like, okay, like I'm taking in data, I'm collecting data as we're fighting, but everything else, like you can't think about anything. You just gotta let your body move and kind
Yeah.
of do what you've taught it to do.
Right. Yeah. All that muscle memory and all
hmm
that. How'd the fight go?
I won, and like,
Nice.
of course, bawling my eyes out. I won. It was such an amazing experience.
How was that fight compared to the last one?
I think so. Leading up to the initial one, I was training and stuff, but I wasn't sure of who was going to be my corner at the first one.
Okay.
So my initial corner, I think he couldn't make it, and then Erica stepped in, and this was the first camp Eric and I had together. So he saw me at USA Muay Thai. That was kind of our like first time him cornering me, and then being at Warriors Cup, he had a full like training camp with me.
Okay.
So we kind of had built certain things up for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a cool experience because it was kind of like I felt like I was rising up from like the shell of a person that I was at the
Yeah.
time and kind of
Yeah. It's like it's almost like the first experience of you going from start to finish of from training to camp to actual competition. And like, okay, now this is the full process.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's great.
And then from there, you just kept competing, kept winning.
Yeah, so I kind of started signing up for as much as I could. So with Warriors Cup, I think we tried to do a couple things, and like just in my weight class, it's tough to find people. But a couple things fell through, and then I ended up. What did I end up doing after that? I think it was I went to WK Peru with Peru, and I didn't end up having a fight. And so I was like, okay, man, am I gonna get a chance to fight again? Because it was this lull.
Oh, right.
So I was hoping I'd get a chance again, and man, TK, she's freaking awesome. But so training, the same for WBC, the team you have to apply for it. So you
Okay.
basically send in your fight resume, and they look at basically your fight resume, who you fought, you know, that those they take into account your whole fight career.
Yeah.
And they were signing up for Mexico, and I was like, TK, they're like, I'm not gonna make like they're not gonna take me. Like, I'm not even gonna do it. Don't worry. And she's like, nope, we're gonna do it. I'm like, sign up. She's like, sign up for it. I'm like, okay. So the one day at the gym before I'm leaving, she's like, come here, come here. We're gonna fill this out right now. And so I filled it out. I was like, nothing's gonna come of this. And they ended up accepting me on the team.
Nice.
So yeah.
Bravo.
So TK gives me a junk about that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's also, you know, when you have the right people around you, they see greatness in you that you don't see in yourself.
Yeah.
And
you need somebody in your life like that, right?
And I'm lucky I have a large amount of people in my life that have seen that, and it I get emotional. But it's very like unexpected. Like one doesn't expect it from people that they're going to be like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially when you're at a point where you might be down and stuff like that, but they're still there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay.
They're still.
You love me?
You really love me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They you definitely need people in your life that celebrate your success, because like when you're down, you'll have a lot of people in your life. Like I know that sounds kind of weird, but sometimes people like they aren't always the nicest, but they're like, oh, like this person's down, like, and they think of it as like oh, well, I'm doing better, so they kind of, you know.
That's true.
But when people really are like sincerely proud of you, and like sincerely like just want the best for you, you're like why? But I'm like, but I love them for it, like,
right.
You know,
it makes you want to do better for them.
Definitely.
Honestly. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you feel like, and speaking of that, you know, is the fight better to do for yourself or for others?
That's a good question.
Or is it both?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I think you have to have that personal drive or that personal investment in it, or it's not going to, like, you're not going to push like you need to, I don't think.
Yeah. So maybe it has to be for yourself first and then others.
Yeah. I think stepping in there, because you're stepping in by yourself.
Yeah.
Regardless of like, you know, so like people can believe in you all you want, and they can want the best for you, but at the end of the day, you're stepping in there. You're going to be taking that risk of, you know, possibly getting injured or hurt, and so you really have to want it for yourself first. And then I think it helps tremendously having the people around you that support you, that, you know, when you get in there, you have people behind you and you have people that have your back. Because I've seen people at fights that like they come and they don't have corners, and I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it. Like I wouldn't want to fight without without my like support system there.
That would have you fought anybody that didn't have anybody in their corner?
No, I haven't. I haven't fought anybody. Like they've always had their corners.
Okay, because like I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, man, if I fought somebody and they didn't have anybody in their corner, like subconscious was like, oh, maybe I should just take it easy on them.
Are you okay? Like, do you need a hug?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very lucky and very fortunate and very thankful for the people that are in my life.
Shout out to United, I guess, right?
Yeah, shout out to United. They got me back in.
Yeah, that's great. So I know that one of the things that you love talking about is the mentality of a fighter and stuff like that. I'd love to have you back to talk more about it, but we could talk about a little bit about it now, and which we kind of already have. So what about the mentality of a fighter that excites you, that you like, oh, I just want to share this with the world?
I think it's not a one size fits all. And I think that you can truly just be yourself. You don't have to be anybody else, just be yourself. I think a lot of fighters think they have to fit this image of being a fighter. But what is that really? Like, you know, I think that there's people in the game now that are really changing that. I mean, you see all the, Instagram memes and all that. But I think it's just truly just being yourself and finding your style, finding out who you are, like within that realm. I think that's what excites me is, one of my favorite fighters, Tiffany Van Soest, Poetry in Motion, love her. But it's like telling a story in your motion, in your movement. And so I think that everybody moves different. And I think that a great coach, and I think that a great gym will nurture that movement. So rather than everybody being cookie cutter versions of everybody else, I think everybody has their own style, everybody has their own movement, and learning to move within that style. I think you bring your own flavor to
I like that.
story.
I like that a lot. And the more you know yourself, the more you're able to grow, not just as a fighter, but as a person. And you get to stand out more too.
You get to be authentically yourself.
Right.
Isn't that
It's the beauty of life.
Yeah, it's the beauty of life. I mean, everybody's like different. Everybody has something, like you can't be anybody else.
Right.
And I think that I think in my younger years, I was caught up in what should a basketball player be and what should they look like and how should they act? And now I'm like, I'm just myself. Like,
how can I be more of that?
Yeah. I mean, my teammates will attest to it. Like, if you do pad rounds with me or like, I laugh through training. I find so much joy in it. Like, I don't feel like, some people are like, oh, you have to be this angry. You have to be, no, like it should be fun training.
It should. Like every time I've trained in martial arts and like there's like a big guy that I'm doing jujitsu with. He's like throwing me around. And I'm like, oh my God, stop it. Like, but I'm like vocalizing that and like making it fun.
But yeah, it should be. And I mean, you're doing like awkward movements, like especially when you're learning something like a new skill. It's like, what am I doing with my body and why won't it do what you're telling it to do? But yeah, I think that's the main thing that kind of sparks it.
Well, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I feel like I could talk to you all day about this stuff.
I know.
But it's been great. I'd love to have you back. And if you have any questions or comments about what we talked about, please leave them below. We'd love to hear it from you. Do you want to tell people where they could find you?
Yep, I'm on Instagram, AI_the_Amazon. I know that's a long one, but the Amazon.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I'm excited about what comes next for you, and I'm always going to be following you and seeing where you go because you are good people, and I'm excited for when good people do great things.
Thank you. I've definitely got, I've got, United, I've got Sunshine Performance behind me now, I've got Arrow behind me now, and so I've got good people in my corner, good people surrounding me, and I'm so thankful. So thankful.
You're creating history.
That feels so weird, isn't
it? You're gonna look back and like be like, oh my God, I did this. You know what I mean? Like you're the definition of what it takes to commit.
And that's what I try to tell people is like, I'm really not a great athlete. I'm not a great fighter. I'm not like, I just show up and I'm consistent. And I think that stands me in good stead. It's like, I love it.
Yeah.